YouTube famous if you want, or you can act that for you. Can you pull that up though? That would be funny to show those Snapchats.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Peter! And I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm
Peter, my husband.
I'm YouTube famous now. Do you not know that?
That you are?
He doesn't watch my videos, you guys. Totally, he doesn't watch my videos. That's probably what's saving our relationship right now. So anyway, this is my husband, Alex.
Hi.
And 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was 2 weeks ago, right?
Beginning of October.
Yeah, we did, beginning of October, we did a video and about just questions that people had for the two of us. And so today we were driving home from lunch and he said, hey, you want to make another video? And I said, sure, because everybody's asking for me to do the hubby tag, the husband tag anyway. And so we can do that. And so I thought, well, let's do that. And so I thought, well, let's just get right into it. Are you guys ready? First of all, though, I want to show you guys this. People ask, they're like, what do you guys spend a lot of time doing? And really what we spend a lot of time doing is, do you have them up? We lay in bed and do Snapchats. And for the last 2 days, here are the Snapchats. He has some of the cutest Snapchats. This is our relationship. Are you ready?
What do you mean it was dumb? It wasn't dumb. That was the dumbest Snapchat I've ever seen. Why? Dumb. Why? Dumb, 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 dumb. Why is it dumb? Don't try to ask. What do you mean it was dumb?
What's the next one? I like the other one.
Which other one?
The Burger King one.
Burger King.
Where do you want to go eat?
I don't know what you think YouTube looks like.
This is becoming bad filming.
Where are you gonna go eat? Burger King. Burger King? Whopper, Whopper. No. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
So that's what, oh, mwah. That's what we smell. Oh, I went for the kiss and I got no kiss. When we first met, he I went like that with my cheek and he licked my cheek. He was 3 sheets of the wind drunk. Yes, I was in a bar. We talked about that in the last video. You can't even take it back. That's a true statement.
I'm not saying that I licked your face. You did not go like this, and that was not the first time that we met.
I didn't go like that. That's a true story.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get right into these questions. I said to him, I go, there's 35 questions. I go, we cannot ramble. And he looked at me like, you're the one that rambles.
And it's been 2 minutes of rambling.
I know, but I love to ramble. I'm YouTube famous now. Anyway, number one, how and where did you meet?
Referred to the video from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. We met via MySpace. It's a very exciting, interesting story. If you want, people still ask me, I'm like, it's over there in the video. And then they get upset and they're like, that was kind of rude. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna talk about it 15 times.
Look, we're trying to promote each other, each of the videos, so.
That's right.
Okay.
I'll link it below. It's real exciting. Okay, what was your first impression of me? Because this is all about me. The world revolves around me.
I don't really know. I mean, I don't really remember the first impression that I had. I mean, I drank a lot back then, so I probably was like.
Yeah, but you weren't drinking on your first impression on the date, not like
so on the
out.
date.
Yeah, because we had seen each other out before.
I just thought it was a really good first date. So it was just not just one impression. It was just how everything felt.
Yeah, I totally did not want to go on this date, and he really just wanted to go on dates so people would pay for dinner. I mean, this is the God's honest truth. I mean, and he was in college, and I just was like, hey, let's just be for real. It is what it is. And so we went on this date having totally no expectations, and I remember he walked in front of my car, and I didn't remember what he looked like, and I was like, oh Lord, he's so cute. So yeah.
You may also refer to
the video. Okay. Number 3, how and where was our first date?
It was at a restaurant, and then we went to go get coffee right after, and then we came here to see each other naked. And
there's nothing wrong. No, did you do this? Dirtiness.
Well, you don't want to see someone flaccid.
There's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. I don't really care.
Sometimes it's hot.
Every one of my long-term relationships started on my first date. And I usually met them at a bar. You're the only one I didn't meet at a bar. I can't believe we still made it.
We did meet at a bar.
We did meet at a bar. That's a true story. Pee-Pee? Pee-Pee's acting up right now. Do you remember what I had to eat that night for dinner? We went to an Italian restaurant called Bravo. I did have fettuccine, but it was called Pasto Woozo there.
So that's not fettuccine at all.
Yes, it is. It's totally, you had lasagna and he took it home. And to this day, he still always orders a huge amount of food.
That's
and always takes half of it home.
That's the only thing I eat there.
Yeah. Okay. Where was our first kiss and how was it?
It was up there and it was okay. It was everlasting. I mean, it got me.
I don't really remember.
And it got my clothes off, so it worked.
I don't really remember our first kiss, honestly. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, because if I would have said that, you would have been so mad.
Yeah, I would have been so mad. God. Because I'm the romantic of this relationship, and that's the truth. You know it. Okay. Tucker, we don't need all of Tucker's up here. They're all up here. Oh, my God. You want to talk about a relationship ruiner? Get 3 dogs. Okay.
And want more.
PB! He's... Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna ask questions later, like what are the biggest problems in your relationship? It's trying to have 3 dogs in bed with you at the same time, and Abu Radley is wanting to jump up here. Okay. When did you meet my family?
It was shortly after we met. I mean, I think it was, I can't remember the month, but it was like something to do with his mom, and his like aunt, like.
So we started dating it was August 25th. Because that's also the date that we ended up getting married on later. My mom's birthday was November 16th, and she had passed away the March before. So my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, and I, and Alex all went out to dinner that night, and then my aunt was like, let's go to the graveyard. So depressing. And so we went, and she's like, well, let's get around the grave and say a prayer. And Alex was like, do I have to get out of the car? I was like, no, sweetie, you can stay in the car.
I just sounded like...
He was nice about it, but he was like, this is really personal.
I was like, I'm not going to get out of I didn't ask him, like, I'm not going to get out of the car. Like, this is not, like, I just met these people, and I didn't even know your mom, so, like...
Yeah, he was like, this is really personal, and I never met your mom. And that's been really hard for me, is that he never met my mom before we started dating. And so we get out of the car. My aunt's like, is Alex not wanting to get out of the car? And my cousin Caroline's like, Mom, he doesn't even know Aunt Bobby. Like, there's no reason.
And it was cold outside, so, like, I mean, I'm not...
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met your family for the first time. There, you're done, dog. I met your mom for the first time at a Halloween party, and I'll never forget, she was dressed as a pirate, and I wasn't dressed as anything. And his mom is so fun.
Because he never likes to dress up.
I loved dressing up when I was a kid, and I actually need 2 costume ideas for next weekend. But, so I met his mom, and I was so nervous to meet his mom, because I was 36, he was 24, and I was like, what is she going to think about this man coming in, like, with her son, and is she okay with, like, you know, his son being gay, her son being gay and stuff, and so he was like, go dance with her, and then he just, like, walked me up to her, and she was like...
It was awkward.
It was awkward, but I'm really glad that I did it in retrospect. We're really close. She always says to me now, she's always like, don't ever forget, you are my son too. So, she's very sweet. I love her. Okay, I don't like that question. The question is, how did you know I was the one? We did this video before, and we had to, like, edit it out. It stopped at the very end.
Why don't you like that question?
I mean, it's not that I dislike this question, but it's that we have very different views on this. Like, we just talked about this, and when we just filmed this once before, and it didn't turn out, so we're filming it again. Here's the deal. So, I'm very spiritual, he's not. And that really doesn't cause problems in our relationship, but one thing that at the beginning that caused problems was that I very much believed, I don't know if that I do so much now, like in soulmates and stuff like that, and he never did. He was just like, we'll, you know, spend as much time together and be together and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's the line? It's interesting because we wrote our own vows and we wrote our own service for a wedding. And what was the line that we said about forever in our wedding? Because we both really believe that. Something about, and we'll be together always because there is no forever or something.
Yeah.
That you're just granted as much time as you have on this earth together. And that's really been our, you can't see it, but we just like grab each other. But anyway, that's how it is, you know, and I think like it's interesting because we both, like in our relationship, have such polar opposite views about things. We've kind of met in the middle.
Well, I feel like...
So he was never looking for the one.
I feel like we're the same person, but in just like different aspects. Like, I mean, like, we're like literally the same person, like to this day, like I think so much. But like then we just have different points of view. And then we just defend those points of view and talk about those points of view like the same way. Like we're literally the 2 same. It's like when you put like 2 type A personalities, it doesn't really work. Like we're like the same kind of person. Like when it comes to like.
We're both very type A. And one of the things is, I think it's hard is that he doesn't agree with us a lot sometimes, but I think that we compete a lot on a subconscious level. See, he doesn't agree with that, but I think we do.
I don't have anything to compete because like, I mean like.
Because he knows I won, baby, because I'm the one.
Yeah, he won me.
We're moving on now. These questions are fairy tale anyway.
Yeah.
I did say though, like, do you think that do you think that I'm like your one? What did I say? Like, what's the word? I'm like, do you think it was fate that brought us together? He was like, no, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I was so crushed. I was like, really? Really, dude? Oh, my Lord. Places you want to travel.
Thailand.
Thailand, we're going to do next
I
year.
want to go to Africa.
Las Vegas again. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas again. We love Vegas and we love Miami. Those are our two
I want
favorite
to go to
cities.
like Italy. I mean, I want to meet the world. I want to I just want to go and live in the world. And what?
Are you going to go to VidCon with me next year? Who am I going to go to VidCon with next year? Do you know? What YouTuber am I going to VidCon with next year?
I don't know.
Charles, gross.
Oh, Charles, gross.
I'm always like, oh, Charles and I were talking about this today, and Charles and I were talking about this today. He's like, he's like, Charles is a Birkin, who? That's what he wants to know about. I showed him Charles' new bag, and he was like, oh, I like that bag. So Steve Charles, true story. Okay. What is my eye color?
Blue.
And you're brown. These are such exciting questions about each other.
I have 3 brown eyes.
You're so disgusting.
I mean,
Okay. What is something I do that you wish I wouldn't?
ramble. No, I don't know.
I don't know what something that you do that I wish you didn't.
Really?
What? Are you
I
gonna...
don't know. I'm sure you have something.
No, I really don't. I can't think of anything. We're pretty accepting of each other. We've been like, I mean, this is the thing that you have to be honest about is like, or we have to be honest about is like, we haven't had the easiest relationship, but we haven't had the hardest relationship either. We've gone through a lot of shit, but we've had a lot of really great times. And I think you kind of get to a point. I remember we had really good friends of ours, our friends Brian and Jenny, actually sat us down at like 2 years. And I think they saw that we were really struggling at that point, and they were like, listen, if you can make it through your, do you remember that? They like had us over for dinner. I does not remember this. And he was like, they were like, if you make it through your first 3 years, you guys, it'll be good. But before that,
I mean, I don't
it's
think
tough.
they had us for dinner to talk about that stuff. I think it came up in
Oh,
the
yes, they
conversation.
did. I talked to Jenny later, and she told me that. She was like,
Well, I wasn't aware of that conversation they had on the side with her. But I thought that they just wanted to hang out and like whatever, and then we just happened to talk about that. But it wasn't like...
but I think it's true. I think once you get to a certain point, it's like you kind of do just understand things about each other, and you accept the things that you even don't like. The things that's interesting
Or
is,
if you don't, you just kind of put up with it because, you know, like the bigger picture is better.
I think the things that's interesting is the things that you, okay, I'll tell you one thing that you do that I can't stand, and you say you don't do it, is when you walk real heavy around the house, and I can hear it on these.
Oh my God, you know what's really funny? He does
Oh
the
my
same
God.
thing. To the point that I even say, I'm like, what, do you have like bricks on your shoe? Like, are you wearing like whatever?
like
and then he gets so mad that I say the same thing. And now, come to find out that since we're the same person, it's the same thing that he wishes that I didn't do.
I don't
See?
like when we don't
See,
agree,
guys?
so we're gonna do the next question.
We are agreeing. See, you guys?
Okay,
Same
here's a good
people.
Okay, here's a good one. What is my favorite restaurant?
Chick-fil-A.
I cannot believe you just said that. That makes me look like such a bad gay. But that is not true. That's not my favorite restaurant. But I do love their breakfast. I do love their breakfast.
What's your favorite restaurant?
I know yours is Chipotle. Or the Kroger Deli where he gets these burrito bowls.
No,
every
that's
day.
where I go on a regular basis to get like lunch because it's like
But
cheap.
you love Chipotle so
I
much.
love Chipotle. I don't consider Chipotle a restaurant.
Like a restaurant that we go to on a regular basis.
I
Champs,
mean,
cheesecake. Champs Nachos, we are both like huge fans of Champs
I mean,
Nachos.
Patachu, like, I mean, I would
Cafe
just take that
Patachu's
over.
brunch in Indianapolis is probably our biggest.
Yeah.
What is one unique talent I have?
Writing.
And you're a dancer. A ballroom dancer. No. What is your most repeated phrase or sentence? Like, what is yours and what is mine?
Right.
Right?
No, like, right. I mean, it was
Oh. What do I say over and over and over again? His is this. If he's talking to his friend Sarah on the phone, they're like, if he has her on speakerphone, they're like, OMG, OMG. Do it. Say it, because it's really funny.
No, I can't. I'm not on the
Oh
man.
my God, it's so funny.
I'm
They're
not-
so funny. They're two of the funniest people in the world to
I'm
listen
not
to.
Comcast.
Like, he'll talk to her down here on speakerphone, and I'll be upstairs in the bedroom. I can
Well,
literally
it wouldn't
just,
be on
laugh my ass off.
speakerphone. Like, you would just know, like, if I answer the phone, it's just how I even
And he'd be like, oh my God.
oh,
Okay, what's something that I say a lot?
something that you say a lot. I don't know. I mean, you say
Really?
No, you don't do that.
That's on YouTube, though. I do that a lot.
I mean, like, no, I don't know. Can you even imagine?
Who was the one to say I love you first? That was me after about a week. He waited forever.
And then I made up some funny story that was like totally made up. And then he believed it. And I was like, just kidding, but I do love you.
Was that the Venezuelan Christmas tree thing? Oh my God. Okay, we're in a bar, and he was like, there's this Venezuelan Christmas tradition where on the 13th of December or something.
It wasn't on a specific day.
If you kiss under the Christmas tree or something, I was like, oh, that's so romantic. And so, like, we kissed underneath, and he told me that he loved me, right? But you told me that before, because you told me, like, in October. So anyway...
Did I?
Yeah, you told me, like, in October of that year. And so what was so funny was, like, the next day, we were, like, getting up, and he was so hungover. And I was like, that was so sweet last night about that Venezuelan tradition. Oh, hey, Caracas. A lot of people say they're from Caracas. They always want you to
Hi, Caracas.
say something in Spanish to your Venezuelan people.
Hola, Caracas. ¿Cómo están?
So, it was very long. Anyway, so, but I said to him, I said, oh, that was so sweet what you said to me last night about the Venezuelan tradition. He goes, what are you talking about?
And I was like, what?
So what do you think is the most important part of a relationship? Let's say that as our end. Like, I think laughter, communication, and honesty.
Yep.
No matter what the honesty is about, I think that's important.
Active listening.
Active listening.
Respect.
R-E-S-P-E-E-E.
And acceptance.
Acceptance. Not tolerance.
Not tolerance.
And gifts. We do love gifts.
Which I haven't gotten in a long time.
That is a lie straight from the pit of
What
hell.
was the last time that you got me something?
Your Birkin? I didn't buy him a Birkin.
The wrong boyfriend.
You're not my boyfriend, you're a husband. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.
Peace.